Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking on Capnclydes MTG. A lot of stuff has happened, and we got a lot of breaking news as of Friday and Saturday and this weekend. Um, I'm not going to squeeze everything into one video. I don't want to bore you guys, so we'll cover a couple of topics that are more hotter than normal as we ease into the next week without spoilers, at least supposedly. So before we get started, don't forget comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps keep the channel sponsor free. Looking to get to 1,000 subscribers. Once we do, we get to have a giveaway. So hey. Check out links in the description. We're on Patreon. We got eBay, TCG Player. We're on Rumble, the whole 9 yards now. So go check it out. So with that said, let's take a look into what's happening. We got Wizards of the Coast getting rid of the Judge Academy partnership, along with stores stopping the selling of Magic the Gathering. Big stores. But first, let's touch base on Wizards of the Coast. So, in the article released by Wizards as of October 6th, it says here, as of October 13th, which is coincidentally the release of Doctor Who, which is very interesting, but maybe just half a dozen, 1/6 the other, who knows. Wizards of the Coast will no longer be partnering with Judge Academy. It says here, we appreciate the work that Judge Academy has done over the past few years in service of Magic judges and organizers, and we are currently working with tournament organizers and stores for a new framework and approach to Magic judging. We do not expect this change to affect most events, as organizers of major Magic events have close ties and existing contracts with judges that will be unaffected. So, I'll read it all first. In the interim, we expect that judge conferences will continue to take place at MagicCon events, and that organizers will continue to work with and hire experienced judges and tournament staff for events. If you have any questions about judging at large scale events, you may contact yada yada yada, so forth and so on. So, what does this mean for Magic going forward? Well, honestly, I don't think it's going to change anything. Um, this is going to be a hot take, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack for it, but hear me out. Um, as you all know, not all judges are created equal. I know a lot of judges, they're great people, and I love them. However, the Judge Academy um, was doing some untoward things uh, with their judges, almost like a kind of weird union, I guess. I won't go into details about it, but let's just say not everybody was treated equally, and also Magic, what they were doing to help this out is they were making reprints for judges. I'm sure you guys have all heard of judge foils and promos to help pay these judges. Um, so for me, what this tells me is Wizards wants to take those promos, judge promos, whatever, not have to worry about that side and redirect all those allocations and resources to a different form of either A, tournament circuit extra stuff, or B, just do a cost cutting. We all know Magic is not selling like it used to. It's kind of hitting a slump and sales are going down. People are upset. And because of that, there's not all that extra money sloshing around that they're used to seeing. And because of that, people on the fringe are going to start getting cutted out of the picture. And the judges are just one part of that. I do hate that this does happen to them because, like I said, I know a lot of judges. They're great people, and I love them. Um, but this is kind of something I kind of seen as writing on the wall, as Wizards has been pulling back in previous years, and now is just pretty much disconnecting itself altogether with judges. Because it mentions here certain judges, those who perform well or have, we'll say, good connections with certain stores or event organizers are the ones who always get the good deals. But it's a kind of one of those things where it's based on performance, right? So if you're a great judge, you work well, and you do well, you get into these things. And to be honest, we want the best of the best, cream of the crop judges, because we don't want people riding the coattails and making other judges look bad. When I know a lot of these guys, especially the ones I know, really bust their hump to get things done and work long hours. Um, so with that being said, it's really going to come down to probably just, are you already in the circuit? And are you certified through Wizards by passing certain tests? Now, in the long run, this may backfire a little if some judges make some bad calls, but let's be honest, we've all had judges make bad calls. They're only human. Um, but at the end of the day, I kind of seen this as something that's happening uh, in the long run because Wizards is trying to dissect itself away from everything that's not making it money. We've seen this already with Hasbro trying to cut in on D&D, and they got a shellacking for that. The Wizards tried Magic 30. They got a serious shellacking for that one, which is still to this day really punishing them for a lot of different reasons. So, with that said, there's one last line here I want to just kind of roll out to you guys here. Experienced Magic judges are the lifeblood of high level Magic, and we're thankful for Judge Academy's stewardship of the program. We look forward to future Magic judging. So, for me, I think this is going to be one of those things where if you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. And getting in to be a high level judge will be a very hard thing. So it's interesting to see how this plays forward. And a lot of what I just talked about kind of plays into the second article I want to talk about, which is, like I mentioned, we talked about uh, one of the, a lot of the things dragging the company down. They tried the D&D thing, the Magic 30 thing, the reprint thing, and it's all culminating into lower sales and a lot of backlash to the company for their piss poor managing practices. And that is, again, topped with this article here about Troll and Toad from ICV2. Troll and Toad backs off on Magic the Gathering. That's right, after 30 years of selling Magic singles, sealed product, and everything in between, Troll and Toad is leaving the Magic the Gathering market. And this, again, is a lot of what we talked about before. I'm going to read through this real quick and then kind of give you a brief overview at the end so it doesn't take too long. So it says here in the article that the longtime Magic the Gathering retailer powerhouse Troll and Toad will back off Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product as of January 1st after a 30-year run of selling the line. In the end of the era, Troll and Toad, which has been in operation since '94 when Magic came out, one of the large-scale buyers of Magic the Gathering cards in October 2023, the decision was made to stop purchasing Magic singles. Today, owner Ben Burns told this article that they will only take delivery on the next 2 rounds of Magic the Gathering sealed product. They are also looking on running a sale in the near future to unload Magic singles and sealed product from their warehouse. This, for the moment, puts their almost 30-year relationship with Wizards of the Coast flagship product on ice. The decision to stop buying Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product was based on a number of factors, Burns explains. The primary one was that selling Magic was simply not profitable as it once was for the company. Why is that? Well, other TCGs, products such as Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, are doing better. Another major reason cited by Burns was the constant reprinting of valuable cards and the number of variants these cards made buy listing pricing difficult. But right here, reprinting of valuable cards. I want to talk about this. We talk all the time. People are like, oh, they're game pieces. They shouldn't cost money. Well, guess what? When the cards are reprinted until they're not worth anything and they are game pieces, then no one plays the game, no one buys and sells it, and you can just go buy packs at Walmart and no one will sell you the singles. Because if every single is worth $1, I'm going to tell you, I have to sell a single for at least $1.25 to make any profit. So no matter what the single is, whether it's common, rare, what have you, to ship it to somebody, I need at least $1.25, and I'm only going to make about 5 to 10 cents. Is that really worth my time? No, it's probably not. And as every year shipping costs go up along with everything else, the price of selling those singles at a higher than $1.25 is going to become more and more. Now, if you have a local LGS, that's great, but how long will it be before they no longer want to spend hundreds to thousands of dollars of man hours every month to make $200 in sales for cards that are 5 cents a piece? Guess what? They won't. And then your quote unquote game pieces will be more expensive because you'll have to get them through buying packs instead of the single market. And you can say one way or another it'll be better because all cards will be cheap. But guess what? Every one of you out there, even you who want your game pieces, will be pissed when you go and you're like, I'm gonna get rid of my Magic cards. What's it worth? Oh, nothing, because no one will buy your Magic cards. You might as well take every Magic card and everything that you spend money on and go burn it. Is that what you want? I'm sure a lot of people do. Not. The part of this game that makes it important is the fact that, notice this TCG here. This stands for Tradable Card Game. All right. And most of these card games are CCGs, collectible. You take out the C, you get stores like this that will shut down and won't sell it. So then what? But anyway, you can yell at me in the comment section, because if you want everything to be cheap, so be it. But I think you all know that if you want everything to be cheap and everything should be cheap, then you must like going to buy games from GameStop and then reselling games to GameStop. Because the same people that complain about game pieces are the same people that bitch because GameStop gives them $5 for a game they want to take it back. So, anyway, something else to take point here is Troll and Told management was also spooked by reprinting of non-tournament legal revised cards in 30th edition anniversary, which still to this day doesn't sell because nobody wants it. Some people buy it. A lot of people are like, oh, Flesh and Blood and all these, it's not a thing anymore. People just sell back and forth to drive the price up. Well, guess what? You know what people are really selling back and forth to drive the price up on? Is this right here. Because nowhere, no how have I met anybody who gives two craps about the anniversary edition. So the people who are putting it up for sale and then buying it from their friend, and spending $5 or $10 to try to get the money to try to make the money go up, you're just going to lose money because you still got selling fees and everything else. And guess what? Nobody's still going to buy it no matter how much you make people think it's being sold. Because, again, game pieces, right? So it's not worth anything. So think about it. Anyway, so they have decided to no longer take the risk that Wizards of the Coast may do it again one day by not carrying the reserve list singles. So now the reserve list is becoming worth nothing. So now every card you've ever bought as to play with, which is your quote unquote game pieces, are now worthless. So, or going to be worthless if Wizards of the Coast continues on this track. So, think about that. Again, this is a good example of Wizards of the Coast putting the game in jeopardy. At the end of the day, if you don't have a market where people want to buy the cards, like Lorcana, like look at Lorcana for example. How come nobody bitches about the cost of Lorcana when they're just as much, if not more than Magic cards, and there's a supply demand? You know why? Because people are buying the cards and selling them and making money. That's why they don't care about quote unquote game pieces. So at the end of the day, with Flesh and Blood, Lorcana, Sorcery now coming out, Wizards of the Coast is in a spot where they need to make major changes, or they are going to have to do a lot of cost cutting, not just by eliminating people like the judges and stuff, but by actually reducing a head count, because there's no other way to save money than to just stop employing people who don't give value. And trust me, there's a lot of those. Because just trust me. Anyway, so something to think about. Tell me what you think down below. Is this the quote unquote dam breaking on Wizards of the Coast monopoly of collectible card games and what have you, as everybody else rushes to the market to make a better product for everyone? That's what it feels like to me. I mean, there's so many good other products right now that are going on that it's really interesting. And with the serious cutback in production run for Doctor Who, I think the writing's on the wall, and Wizards has finally realized that they've really effed it up. And they're doing the best they can to save face, but guess what? Is it too late? Or is it not too late? We'll have to wait and see. So, until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table, probably playing for just nothing, since the cards ain't worth anything. We'll just rip them up like Chaos Confettis. Anybody know what Chaos Confetti is? Boy, I dated myself on that one. I'm old. Later, player.